Are there any apologies for absence?
Yes, Chairman. So Member Rhoda Crawford apologized. She won't be attending today. And Member Donovan Williams said that he's running late.
Okay. Any other apologies? I know that there is an apology for the chair. She's unavoidable, not here today. If there is not any more, let me once again welcome us all to the sitting of the CDF committee meeting. Confirmation of the minutes of the meeting held on April 15, 2025, moved by Member Robinson, seconded by Member Davis. Review of proposed constituency projects. So, projects that are here, project type, name of project, budget, and implementing agency, Member of Parliament, and constituency. Mr. Heroy Clark, St. James Central, Human and Social Development, St. James Central Educational Assistant, 25-26, $7.5 million SDC. Mr. Daniel Lawrence, Western Westmoreland, Human and Social Development, Westmoreland Easter Educational Assistant, 25-26, $8 million SDC. Westmoreland Eastern. First one was Heroy Clark. No. Education. You got the second one? Daniel Lawrence. Mr. Robert Miller, St. Catharines Southeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Catharines Southeastern Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million SDC. Honorable Marlene Malahou, Fort KC, St. James West Central, Human and Social Development, St. James West Central Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million SDC. Honorable Marlene Malahou, Fort KC, St. James West Central, Human and Social Development, St. James West Central Educational Assistance, 25-26, $5 million Social Development Commission. Mr. George Wright, Westmoreland Central, Human and Social Development, Westmoreland Central Educational Assistant, 25-26, $8 million Social Development Commission. Honorable Favour Williams, St. Andrew Eastern, Human and Social Development, St. Andrew Eastern Education Assistance, 25-26, $8 million SDC. Mrs. Natalie Nita Garvey, St. Catherine North Central, Human and Social Development, St. Catherine North Central Educational Development, 25-26, $7 million Social Development Commission. Miss Tova Hamilton, Trelawney Northern, Human and Social Development Back to School Forward to Success, Trelawney Northern, steaming into 2025, $6 million SDC. Honorable J.C. Hutchinson, St. Elizabeth Northwestern, Human and Social Development, St. Elizabeth Northwestern School Feeding Program 25-26, $1 million St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation. Honorable Edmund Bartlett, St. James East Central, Human and Social Development, St. James East Central Educational Assistant, 2025-2026, $10 million Social Development. Ms. Tamika Davis, Hanover Western, Human and Social Development, Hanover Western Educational Assistant, 25-26, $5 million Social Development Commission. Mr. Moreland Wilson, Westmoreland Western, Human and Social Development, Westmoreland Western Educational Assistant, 25-26, $6 million SDC. Honorable Homer Davis and James Southern, Human and Social Development, St. James Southern Educational Assistant, 25-26, $7.5 million SDC. Mr. Dwayne Smith, St. Andrew Northwestern, Human and Social Development, St. Andrew Northwestern Educational Enhancement, 25-26, $8 million SDC. Honorable Edmund Bartlett, Human and Social Development, St. James East Central Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million Social Development Commission. Mr. Delroy Slowly, St. Elizabeth Northeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Elizabeth Northeastern Administrative Assistance Funding, 25-26, $1.5 million SDC. Honorable Olivia Green, St. Catherine Central, Human and Social Development, St. Catherine Central Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million SDC. Mr. George Wright, Westmoreland Central, Human and Social Development, Westmoreland Central Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million SDC. Mr. Hero Clark, St. James Central, Human and Social Development, St. James Central Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million SDC. Honorable Darrell Vaz, Portland Western, Human and Social Development, Portland Western Administrative Assistance, funding 25-26, $1.5 million SDC. Mr. Dave Brown, Human and Social Development, Hanover Eastern Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million SDC. Honorable Franklin Witter, St. Elizabeth Southeastern, Human and Social Development, St. Elizabeth Southeastern Administrative Assistant, funding 25-26, $1.5 million, social development. Honorable Dr. Horace Chang, St. James Northwestern, Human and Social Development, St. James Northwestern Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million, social development commission. Mr. Philip Paulwell, Kingston Eastern and Port Royal, Human and Social Development, Kingston East and Port Royal Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million SDC. Honorable Homer Davis, St. James Southern, Human and Social Development, St. James Southern Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million SCC. Mr. Daniel Lawrence, Westmoreland Eastern, Human and Social Development, Westmoreland Eastern Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million SDC. Mr. Moreland Wilson, Westmoreland Western, Human and Social Development, Westmoreland Western Administrative Assistant, 25-26, $1.5 million Social Development Commission. That's it for the projects. At this time, we will be taking suggestion for the next meeting date. The 13th of May. Members, the suggestive date is the 13th of May. That is okay with us? Once again,
Right.
Well, I guess that will be the regular sitting of Parliament.
yes.
Yeah, so we can have, yes.
Also,
We always take the Tuesday,
Yeah, the Tuesday
midday
at the same time.
before Parliament, which
Find it
gives
very
us.
convenient, Mr. Chairman, especially
Chairman,
us
Yes,
if I
madam.
may,
coming from afar.
I would also urge your colleagues for cash flow management of the CDF to send in their education projects as early as possible. So May 13th, you notice we have some education already.
Yeah.
But for those who are late, remember the funds are received in tranches, and I cannot fund what is not approved at the next sitting.
We continue to urge our members, our colleagues, to make the effort to submit their project, especially the administrative assistant and education program, because those are really the tool that starts the financial year. And so, as Madam from CDF department would tell us, she is unable to fund projects that are not approved. We are urging us all to get our projects in so they can be approved at the next meeting, which is on the 13th of May, noontime.
Also, you will all be receiving some information regarding Labor Day. I'm awaiting those instructions. I got a call verbally, but I am awaiting the written document to circulate to all members of Parliament as it relates to Labor Day and the limit that you are allocated or can be taken from your budgetary allocation. I don't know what it is as yet. I don't want to preempt, but I know I'll be getting some instructions. And before I yield to the chair, it slipped me to apologize for Mrs. Pauline Scott Blair. She's unavoidably absent.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, thanks for the recognition. As it relates to members of Parliament who are tardy in submitting their programs, I am saying that we who are not should not be penalized if there is such an avenue for penalization of persons. We should be the, our thing should be approved ASAP. As it relates to, I had AOB Labor Day, but you have explained to us that you will communicate with us as soon as you get your own directives. So please, Madam, it's sometimes very difficult for us to get the instructions days before Labor Day. Because, whatever we are doing, we have to seek to procure these things, and it normally takes some time. Sometimes, it's just because of the good relationship that we establish, especially with our hardware suppliers, and some of us, but I don't think all of us are that fortunate. So please, we're just days away. In my opinion, the month of May starts a couple of days' time. I would say by the end of next week, we should be in possession of the instructions. And if I may, well, you say you don't know what the figure is, but I would love for that figure to move from where it was last year. Okay? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Up or down?
I await the formal instructions.
A movement can mean downward,
No, it is an upward movement, Chairman. Can I respond to Member Davis and then have Mr.
Yes,
Williams?
you can.
Okay, so
Mike?
we really don't penalize members of Parliament, or I should say, we have never penalized a member of parliament. However, I see you all smiling. However, I must say that it is not efficient. And I would dare to say waste of my time to take 3 and 10 projects to Parliament, and hence why we're urging the submission of a number of projects so it makes the meeting more fulsome and fruitful. But when you have just 3 projects, and yes, those MPs are on time, and it's sad to say I have to wait on the delinquent ones or the ones who are tardy in submitting on time. Not necessarily delinquent, but tardy in submitting on time, you get the back end of that. And I must apologize on their behalf, but it is not a CDF per se penalization. So urge your colleagues to submit on time, and then, disbursement will follow suit.
Sure, but we wouldn't know who to advise. We wouldn't know who to advise. Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you.
So the date is set, May 13th, noonday.
So just a query, I don't know, well, if it is in order in relation to the May 13th date, is it that the focus will just be on the education projects?
No.
Okay.
All projects that you submit, once they are in order, then we will take them.
Grateful.
So if you want to bring all your projects all at once on May 13th, that's fine.
Williams is asking that question, and let me clarify. He submitted all his projects, but he's not seen them. Reason being, we were focusing on the salaries of persons. So to review those projects properly and to make it in time for the committee based on priorities and the urgency of persons being compensated, and MPs don't have to reimburse them from their pockets or pay them until the CDF salary is ready. We took the decision at the unit to review only administrative assistance and education. But going forward, any other project that is submitted, you will see the projects coming in all different project categories as of May 13. Yes, to say that he has submitted all his projects.
For the first time.
Mr. Chair, if you notice, Mr. Chair, we have had, this would be our second or third meeting since. And I didn't raise that issue because I fully understand where Madam Director is coming from. So I never questioned that because I understood the policy. By observation, you could see the policy. I'm just asking about the May 13th meeting going forward.
No, going forward.
And Mr. Chair, I didn't say anything about my projects. It is the director that spilled the beans.
Any other business? Any other business? If there is none, let me once again thank you for being here this morning to make this meeting fruitful, and that we encourage those who are not here to make sure that they make themselves available. Thank you very much. No other matter, we ask that this meeting move by Member Williams, seconded by Member Robinson. Sorry. This meeting now stands adjourned.
Do your part to prevent mosquito breeding. Mosquitoes will breed in any container that holds water.
Tightly cover water storage containers such as drums, barrels, buckets, and tanks. If this cannot be done, pour cooking oil on the water surface. Punch holes in all tins, plastics, and beverage boxes to prevent the collection of water before disposal. Cover all tires or fill with dirt to prevent water collection. Scrub all vases once per week to remove mosquito eggs. Use mosquito repellents to protect yourself from mosquito bites. Dispose of garbage properly by placing in plastic bags and securing properly to prevent water collection.
A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
How do bills become law in Jamaica? Laws are made to create order, to ensure our safety, and to protect our rights against abuses by other citizens, organizations, and even the government itself. A bill is a proposal for either a new law or for a change to an existing law. Jamaica's parliament is responsible for making our laws, and that responsibility is shared between two houses. There are 21 parliamentarians appointed from both political parties to the upper house, also known as the Senate. And there are 63 members of parliament that we, the people, elect to the lower house, also known as the House of Representatives. To pass a law, there is a minimum of 6 stages required in each house. The process can begin in the upper house by a senator or in the lower house by your member of parliament. And their proposals for a new bill can certainly start with you, the citizen. Now, since the process often begins in the House of Representatives, let's start there. 1. The first stage begins with the introduction by the minister responsible for the bill, followed by the first reading of the bill by the clerk to the houses.